Hey, you're listening to Stop the Scroll, a social media marketing podcast, and I'm your host, Heidi Schmidt. I'm a social media strategist and agency owner with over 15 years of marketing experiences helping businesses grow online. We'll be diving into what you need to know so that you can show up confidently online without the overwhelm. Get your notebook ready to jot down some amazing marketing gems, and let's dive into it. Welcome back to another episode of Stop the Scroll. I'm your host, Heidi Schmidt. This is take 2 because I was rudely interrupted. Anyhow, I am super jazzed about today's topic, which is why we shouldn't just market our businesses on social media, why we shouldn't just rely on the powers that be to promote our businesses. And so I found this interesting statistic that ultimately the Advertising Research Foundation said 49% of consumers learn about businesses through offline sources. Now, I am not one to promote dumping all of your marketing dollars into offline sources. However, when we think about offline sources, we think about, networking, making connections. I've had clients before who were like, not getting any leads. And I was like, well, are you just relying on social media to get your leads? Are you just relying on the rented space, the meta platforms to bring you in leads? Because we all know that, yes, social media can 100% drive leads. 100%, especially if you're utilizing Facebook advertising, all that fun stuff. However, we also know that social media is rented space, right? There are so many reasons why putting all of your marketing efforts into social media, which should be one piece of your marketing puzzle, one piece, not all the pieces, but one piece of your marketing puzzle. And why, if you put that one piece of the puzzle into your, marketing strategy, one piece of the puzzle, you don't have a complete puzzle, right? Where are all my puzzlers? I love doing a good puzzle. But if you're missing a piece or two to the edge, I don't know if you all put your edge pieces around first, and I'm like, when this goes up on YouTube, it's going to be like me and all my wavy hands. I'm a hand gesture. Puzzle doesn't fit, right? If you're missing a couple pieces of that border, it doesn't all fit together. So you cannot just rely on social media to market your business. You don't control who sees you and when they see you. I will always say that social media is great to build your brand online. However, it should not be everything in your marketing strategy. You need organic content going up regularly on your website to kind of build up your Google SEO opportunities. You should be advertising offline, especially if you're a brick and mortar, how are you advertising to your audience? How are you getting in front of them? Are you just relying solely on social media for them to find you? There is something to be said about print marketing, whether it's business cards, flyers, direct mail, whatever it is. I will say, I am not super pro direct mail, but every time I get one of those little envelopes with all the coupons, I do go through it before I throw it all away. And I do check for coupons in the weekly little coupon-y flyer thing that we get. So print marketing, depending on your business, not for everyone, can be super effective. There is something to be said. The Data and Marketing Association reported that direct mail has a 29% return on investment, making it one of the highest for offline marketing strategies, which is pretty fascinating. So you spend, I'm trying to do some math in my head. Excuse me. I can't math. I can't math right now. I was on a 6-hour call before this, a strategy call, but a 29% return on investment is pretty decent. So everyone's looking for 100% return on investment, but meh. But there is a high open rate for direct mail, especially for super local service-based businesses. So don't underestimate the power of print marketing, if you need a graphic designer to design you a great one-pager, I have an amazing referral who designed my one-pager that I absolutely love. Before her, I had nothing. And what was I even doing? My business cards were made on Canva, my logo was made on Canva, and she brought me up to speed. So highly recommend her. If you need her name, I will link her. Yeah. So print marketing, there is a time, there is a place. Don't underestimate it. Be cautious about dropping thousands of dollar bucks. I say that because I was talking about Bluey last night at a friend's house, and I love that they say dollar bucks because they're 5-year-olds, but whatever. Don't spend thousands of dollars. Actually, no, 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 no. I'm not even going to say don't spend thousands of dollars on advertising. You have to be able to measure how the return on investment is on anything, any investment in your marketing, whether it's Facebook advertising, whether it's print advertising, whether it's, direct mail, whatever that is, you have to be able to measure the return on investment. I am super involved in my local business association, and I love being involved. I love the community involvement. I love that it's increased my brand. I also know that a lot of those businesses aren't necessarily my audience. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Maybe, a lot of people we understand as marketers aren't in market for us. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't build relationships. And that is a great way to establish credibility, create word of mouth referrals, all of that fun stuff. Telling my business coach earlier this week, I was like, for so long, all my business came from referrals. And now I'm like, I got no leads. I got nothing. And that's because I haven't been working as much on lead generation for myself because I've just been drowning in work lately. But that means that I need to go out there and network a little bit more. I need to engage a little bit more in the community, which I do pretty regularly because that's how you build those personal connections and that's how you create those word of mouth referrals. I am super active in the Leading Lady community on Facebook, and that's how I've gotten a lot of my clients because I pipe in on Facebook groups when someone's looking for advice on social media, like, hey, I might be able to help with this, have a conversation. So both in Facebook groups and offline, be active, be a resource, not a sales pitch. But so much of my business grew just by being active in that community. So I am forever grateful for that community of amazing women leaders. I'm going to link it in the show notes. So if you want to join, if you are a woman in business, it's just such a resource. Having a public relations strategy, earned media, is a real thing. And there are so many benefits to it, not only from building your credibility, building your reputation, but if you get featured in a local newspaper or on a magazine or on another website or on a podcast, they're going to link back to your website. And it is so helpful, especially if you're in the early stages and, hey, I need to build my audience. How do I get in front of new people? Because if you're waiting on Instagram for, 1,000 followers a day, I am going to tell you that you're probably waiting for paint to dry. And that's a little harsh. I know there are social media managers out there that boast oh, I got 2,000 followers in a day. And it's okay, that's the exception, not the rule. There are over 1 billion Instagram users. That is the exception, not the rule. You cannot base the success of your social media strategy based on whether or not you have 10,000 followers, based on whether or not you get 1,000 followers in a day, based on whether or not you put out a reel and it gets 30 views. You cannot base the success of your social media strategy solely on that metric. What are you doing to drive people to your social media? Are you putting yourself out there? Because if you have business cards and you're going to networking events, you're probably giving them your business card and you're probably like, hey, follow me. Let's connect on social, right? Right. At least I do. I don't know. But when you have an earned media strategy, public relations strategy, and I am not a public relations expert, however, I do encourage a lot of my clients who are interested in, I want to reach a broader audience, then you need to seek out those opportunities to get on other podcasts, to get in front of other audiences, to get in local newspapers or magazines, like if you're local to Maryland, partnering with other organizations like Chesapeake Inspired or What's Up Magazine, things like that are going to get you in front of audiences that might not find you online. They're often more engaged. If they're interested in your services, they're probably going to seek you out and oh, let me follow them. Let me see what they're all about, In addition to all of these offline strategies, it is so important to make sure that your online presence is consistent. It's on brand, it looks clean. Showing up online shows that you're taking your marketing seriously. Then, of course, there's other digital strategies that you can do to kind of get in front of your audience regularly. We talked a little bit about SEO and content marketing. Blogging is great for thought leadership, and SEO is a long game. You're not going to see results overnight. So many people think that marketing is such a short-term strategy. There is nothing quick about marketing. There is nothing that is going to generate you overnight big boom results. Nothing. Nothing that you do is going to be the marketing magic that you want it to be. That's a little controversial, but putting out SEO friendly thought leadership content on a blog or YouTube videos or podcasts, it's going to drive organic traffic absolutely 100%, and it's going to increase your long-term visibility. And it's also going to give you something to promote on social media, just saying. But it's a long game, and 50% of all website traffic for most businesses probably comes from organic search. So you need to invest in that type of content, especially if you want to get found on Google. Back when I was first getting into marketing, I did an SEO training for my team at one of my old agencies. And there are 3 types of search. And those 3 types of search are, there's the navigational search, which is someone who, I call it the branded search, because you know exactly where you want to go in. Maybe you know the name of the business, but you don't know their website. They are someone who is looking specifically for you. For instance, if you're a boomer, I don't know that I have any boomers that listen, but my mother does this. Searching for Facebook login or, Google, instead of just typing google.com, I know that I want to go to Google. They know where they want to go. They're probably already in market for you, and they know that they want to work with you, and they know that they are looking for you specifically. Then there's kind of the informational search, and these are the ones that are the wide range of topics, the how to make, blueberry pancakes. Today I searched for how to clean strawberries with vinegar. It's magic when it comes to keeping your strawberries lasting for a little while. I highly recommend it. What is content marketing? Someone who's looking for that information, answers to questions. Those are typically people who are more top of funnel. You want them to find the answers to those questions on your website. I'm pausing to make sure that you write that down. Then there's the transactional search, which is, they are looking to make a purchase. Maybe they're searching for running shoes online, size 6. That would be me. They want free photo editing software. They want to know what is the best video editing software, and they want to go download it. They are ready to make the purchase or make the download or whatever it is that they're looking for. They are ready for that. So each of those different searches, and I'm not getting fully into SEO strategies because that's not my area of expertise, but this is something that has lived rent-free in my mind, and it's so useful because people don't think about this. They don't think about how their users find them. There are different SEO strategies to ensure that your content is meeting your users' intent and that ranks effectively. If you need a good website person who is a genius at SEO, I've got a girl for you. Just send me an email. She works great. So let's see. Where were we? Talking about SEO and content marketing. And then there's email marketing. And everyone needs a flippin' email strategy. Can we just talk about that? If you don't have an email list, who even is your audience? Who's your audience if you don't have an email strategy? You need to build and maintain your email list, whether that's through collecting business cards and networking events, whether that's through a freebie. I highly recommend both. Both strategies are really great. So you can get in front of them, because you know what? The difference between email marketing and social media marketing is that email, you choose when they hear from you. They want to hear from you. They opted in. Social media, you have no control over how many people are going to see that reel, how many people see that post promoting your event. You want to get in front of your audience. And one of the best ways to do that is email marketing. Like, email marketing has like the highest ROI, I think, of most marketing strategies. Don't quote me on that. So don't sleep on email. It's also a great way to nurture those relationships, those people that come in that do want to, like, they opt into your newsletter or they opt into your freebie or whatever it is. According to HubSpot, like, email marketing has an average ROI of $42 for every $1 that you spend, which, yes, that is 100% correct. And I get people who tell me all the time, I'm not super consistent with my own email marketing. I'm trying to get better. Get on my email list. If you're out there and you're listening and you're not, sign up for my email list on my website. And I try to send out weekly emails with my podcast on it. And I have a workshop coming up at the end of September, so I'll be promoting that soon. So get on my email list. But it's a great way to nurture people, to stay in front of them. Like, as I mentioned before, like, not everyone, when they come across you, is going to be in market, meaning they don't know that they need you, or they're not ready for you, or they're not like ready to buy in whatever way, shape, or form. So having an email list is a great way to stay in front of them so that when they are ready to buy from you, there you are. Have an email list, work on building that. You can collect business cards from those events, like I said. You can have a form on your website, you can have a freebie, you can do advertising, do lead generation. I believe that Meta Ads has like lead gen ads. So those are great ways to nurture relationships with your list and with those potential customers, all of that stuff. So don't sleep on email marketing. It's one of my favorites. All right. I think we covered a lot here. To recap, there's lots of limitations to relying solely on social media for your marketing. We don't want to do that. We definitely want to be present on social media, but that should not be the only way that you are marketing your business. We don't control the algorithm. Ultimately, it's a computer. We don't control who sees what and when and how often. Plus, like, there are lots of like community guidelines. Like, I was just talking with a business acquaintance recently who every time she posted a story or a post, like, it was getting taken down and she didn't understand. And I was like, oh God. We could not figure out literally why her content was just being removed. There wasn't even like community guideline violations. Like, Facebook was just like, boop, nope. Instagram was like, boop, nope. So you also have to battle those types of things. So you don't want to be dependent on any platform that's rented space. Don't do it. Social media is also a saturated market. You're competing for that feed space. There are how many millions and billions of users and pages and businesses. Like, you're probably competing against someone to get in front of the same audience, and like, maybe they're nationwide and they have better resources, and you're never going to be able to compete with them because they're dropping $1,000 a month on Facebook advertising, and you can't compete. So social media can be a crowded space. I'm not saying that you shouldn't compete. Like, you got to play ball. But that's why it's so important. And I do these in my strategy calls. We do a competitive deep dive to look at what are your competitors doing and where are the opportunities, not just for content, but like, oh, hey, my competitor that I thought was a competitor, they're not even consistently showing up on social media. So like, you may have opportunities that you didn't even know existed, even if the market's saturated. And then, social media content, like, it's short-lived at first. I do think that Reels give it a little bit more longevity. But, if it disappears from feeds, you don't know who else is going to see it. You don't know who else is going to come across it. Again, rented space. It's not necessarily sustainable for that long-term engagement. So there are some pitfalls to social media marketing. I do think that it's necessary for every business to be on social media. I wouldn't have a job if I didn't believe that. But I think social media is a piece of the overall marketing puzzle for businesses. And it should not be the be all end all of how you market your business. There are other strategies. There are networking, community engagement, offline marketing strategies, organic marketing strategies, content marketing, all of the things that need to be a piece of that overall marketing puzzle. So that's where we're going to leave off for today. Again, if you are interested in a strategy session, as always, linked in the show notes, I would love to help you craft your Q4 or 2025 marketing goals and help you build a strategy around that. We have limited spots for VIP content days. If you just need help creating the content, like you want to post it all yourself, like we do VIP content days and it comes with a strategy session. So bonus. And then we are recruiting, clients for Q4 and for 2025 for our done for you social media management services. So reach out if you're interested. And I will also leave the link to my upcoming Instagram workshop, which is going to be kind of a content workshop where we get to create Instagram reel content, video content together, and you learn all of the best strategies to showing up on Instagram reels. So all of that's in the show notes. In the meantime, I hope this was helpful. Leave a review if you love it. If you don't love it, I always take feedback well. I tell all my clients this, I want your feedback, good, bad, the ugly. It helps me grow as a podcaster when you leave me great feedback. So yeah, until next time, go forth and create amazing content that stops the scroll. Talk soon.